You have no idea the amount of ignorance you're about to get into right now.
Hello and welcome to a brand new preview episode for Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we're back. This is preview for episode 149. Look, I before I tell you the title of this movie, some of you have requested this movie, so I specifically blame you. This is a story of a good guy gone wrong. Sometimes black love gets interrupted by a white she-devil. This movie is the 2009 tour de force film called Obsessed. I would argue starring one Beyonce Knowles and also Idris Elba and Ali Larter, but however you want to mix it up. Yeah, this episode is going to be fucking wild. So I hope you enjoy the movie or don't, because it really doesn't matter. Again, it's about a businessman who does business stuff, and he's married to Beyonce Knowles, and Ali Larter, a white secretary, tries to fuck him because it's Idris Elba. And shit goes left. So we'll talk more about that next week in depth. So look, I know people are wondering when we're going to do our Tyler Perry movie. This is about as close as you're going to get for a hot minute, because it feels like one.
There's been a little bit of talk about people who listen to our show but don't get a chance to watch the movie beforehand, and they were lamenting that, they didn't get a chance to watch the movie, but I just had to listen to Black on Black Cinema, so the movie was spoiled for me. Of my own doing, which is fine. You ain't got to worry about getting spoiled with this piece of shit.
That seems rude, but also incredibly accurate.
So feel free to watch it. Feel free not to watch it. You're going to have a good time.
Yeah, we've already recorded the episode.
Watch it. No, watch it.
Look, I always say that I recommend watching all the movies ahead, just because you can get more of the references that we make, even though we kind of go through it. Yeah, this one is there's some beats you really want to see firsthand for yourself. So look forward to Obsessed next week. The random topic this week, however, is on a much more serious topic, which is all about the newly discovered college admissions scandal that broke last week. Obviously, because we do preview episodes every other week, we couldn't deal with it more timely. But basically the premise, if you were living under a rock, was that they found out that a number of some celebrities and very, very rich people, seemingly almost exclusively white. I think there was an Asian family at one point as well, that these people were paying money into this scam, some words up to $6 million, to get their kids into colleges of their choice. So instead of doing it the old-fashioned way of just donating a building, so they would literally Photoshop pictures of their kids onto the bodies of college athletes, pretending that their kid played the sport when they didn't, to get in on a sports scholarship. They would also just have people take the ACTs or SATs for them, or just change the answers, like having a proctor basically paid off to change your kids' answers. Some of the kids were aware of this. Seemingly most of them were not aware of it. So I guess it brings up the topic of, in America, if you work hard, you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, everybody gets the same equal chance, which pretty much this whole scandal proves that is complete and utter bullshit, that we've been telling, especially black and brown people for decades, as to why they don't make it in society. So what are your thoughts on this?
I mean,
You can go first. This is stupid. They paid more money for their kid to get in than if they would have just pay for, like, do you have to, like, I ain't go to college, but when do you have to take an exam to be, I mean, I know certain colleges, but they pay like a lot of money, like 500 grand for their children to get into these schools.
Yeah.
And did other crazy shit. Like, you have to take like if you have the money, you just can't get in.
No, like, no,
you
that's
you have to take entrance exams.
Yeah,
because
like
if
the
you have the
ACTs.
money, any dummy could get into like Harvard or whatever. But ideally, you don't want that, right? Ideally, Harvard wants people on merit. You know, that's what they tell us. That's why.
Was Harvard one of the schools?
I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah, I'm not sure Harvard was one of the schools, but there were some. I believe there were some Ivy League schools there.
Yeah, but the idea is that, you know, no matter how much money you donate, you have to take an entrance exam, which is why
they just had people take. That's why they have them take them for them.
Yeah,
but that
like what's the one thing that I never understood about this thing is, you pay all this money to get in, right? But once you're in, like, do you keep paying money to have them like do all your tests? Yeah, to get good grades.
Well, I think the idea is once the kid who was clearly stupid, once they get in, then, you know, it's like maybe
is it like a sports thing where it's like, wow, you're so good at sports. Don't worry about your.
I feel like that's probably true to some extent. Maybe you can. I mean, look, if you're a rich kid and you already got through high school barely, I feel like you're probably willing to pay some nerd to do your homework, right? Like, that's probably a thing. I mean, Jared Kushner, who is a senior advisor to an even dumber person, the president. I mean, this is how he got into Harvard or Yale or whatever.
Yeah, like his dad donated a wing or something like that.
Yeah, they paid like $10 million. Like, he was not smart enough to get into that Ivy League school. They're like, no, what? Look at this guy's grades. And he was like, here's $10 million. They were like, look at this guy's grades. He's amazing. And they just let him in. But I think, like, the weird thing is, on the surface, like $500,000 seems insane. And it is. On the surface, it's stupid. But especially because the college doesn't cost $500,000 over 4 years.
Right.
But it's the connections, right? Because if you have a degree from Harvard or wherever, you know, Wharton or wherever you're going, then you get yourself into rooms making $100,000 more than some other schmuck who didn't get there, right? And then maybe that gives you what's up?
The parents are who they are,
right? But they also want their kids to believe that they made it, which is weird.
Look,
yeah, none of it
like it. This legitimately makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, I understand. I know there are some like Hollywood parents that, like, they don't give their kids shit. I mean, their kids are well-to-do, like they have the money to do whatever they want, but they want their children to work for what they get. These people apparently didn't, and they got their children into college, and their children may not have necessarily wanted to go to college. You get them in, and they fuck up anyway. So you just wasted money.
Yeah, I think they see it more as a connection.
It doesn't make any sense to me. But I understand what you're saying, but like, if your kid's a fucking idiot, like, what connections are they going to have outside the ones that you already have because you're already famous?
Right.
Like, it just doesn't add up.
Well, I guess I mean, here,
basically,
I mean, I guess the argument is George W. Bush. Clearly not smart. Not smart enough for Harvard.
Was vice president.
Right. So he got in. I mean, let's get real.
Like, what the fuck?
Right, but
because of his father's connections. That's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't have to go to there to get those connections. He had them already.
Yeah,
but if he didn't have that degree,
like, that's where you fuck president.
Up. He got a degree.
I think he did get a degree.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he wouldn't have been president. Like, you're not going to be president with a GED.
Yeah, that's just no.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
what did he get a degree in?
I'll look it up, but I don't think you, like, yeah, there are connections that you have, but I don't think you get there if you don't walk in there with a Harvard degree. Like, you just don't. Yeah, he graduated with an MBA from the Harvard Business School. Like, yeah. Like, having an MBA from Harvard is like, that opens doors for you. That means you sitting in the same rooms with other Harvard grads and they're like talking about skull and crossbones and all this other bullshit that they're all into. That's where the connections are. I mean, like, ironically, like when I got my master's degree, yeah, like it was great to get the degree and all this other stuff, but the connections that I made there were really fucking a big deal. So like that to me is where even if you're just a C student, it don't matter. Like, I don't know what the fuck Bush got coming out of Harvard Business School. It doesn't matter. He has an MBA. He could have been a fucking just a gentleman C all the way across.
Wait,
all that matters is
he got a Bachelor of Arts degree in history.
it says he has a
He went to Harvard Business School in 73.
73 and graduated in 75 with an MBA. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, which is funny because then when he got into the business world, he was a complete fuck up. So I mean, that's the great irony of it. The degree meant nothing; it was just completely the connections. But I don't think he would even be talked about in the realm of being president had he just had like a high school diploma. Like even with his connections, I don't think they would have. I mean, look at Trump. Trump is I think probably the least educated modern president we've had. But, you know, he brags about going to Wharton, but like he went to Wharton for undergrad. He didn't go for grad school. But even he brags on that because it's just the name. It's the connection. So yeah, I mean, I think the larger conversation to be had though is this idea that everybody can make it. You can just make it, and it doesn't matter who you know as long as you're smart and you try hard, which is fucking hilarious. But this is the sort of grandpa admissions shit, the legacy admissions stuff has been going on for decades. And people of color have been like, yo, why is this okay? And they're like, no, but it's, you know, we earned it. My grandfather earned it. So henceforth, I earned it. Like, no, your grandfather was mad smart, but you're George W. Bush. Like, you don't deserve to be here. But do you think legacy admission should go away completely?
Yes.
I think so. I do.
Yeah, it absolutely should. I mean, if you earn the right to get in there because you're smart. And the thing is, like, if you have that name and you are actually really good, your name will probably get jumped ahead of someone anyway.
Right. Of course.
Like, if you're just as good as this other person, that legacy will give you that leg up, which is still kind of fucked up. But I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, it should absolutely go away.
Yeah, it's fine. I find it bizarre that we still do that in this country. Like, knowing the history of racism and everything else, like, my grandfather wasn't allowed to go to Harvard. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to get in legacy? Oh, I got in now? Oh, cool. So I had to bust my ass, but fucking George W. Bush just fucking tripped and fell in there. Great. I'm happy for
it'll
you.
go away. It'll go away when we start doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people of color are going to college.
A lot of people of color going to college. Aren't like
children that have already gone to college?
Aren't like black women like the most educated
Yes.
of like all minorities?
Yes.
Period.
Yeah. College educated, absolutely. Yeah, they're not fucking around.
So wait till a couple more highly educated Oprah Winfrey types start donating wings based on their academic achievement.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Nope. Sorry.
But the crazy thing is, like, all of those old white people are dying off. I mean, and America's getting a lot more brown as the years go on.
All those old people are dying off. They're dying off, but their names are still on them buildings.
So they are.
Yeah.
And they're like grandparents and all that other good stuff, but their grandparents are going to be growing up with a whole bunch of people of color.
Yeah.
They're going to be the minority eventually.
Yeah. No, it's not
happening in our lifetime. But it's going to happen.
Yeah. No, it will.
They should accelerate the process because, you know, but hey.
I would also be fine with that. I
just find it insane that because these aren't necessarily even legacy. They're just like, yo, I'm rich.
That's it.
I'm cheap to get my child in here. Like, what the fuck?
I was on Full House. Nigga, that's not a reason to go to Harvard. Like, Becky, go sit down somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I just find it kind of amazing that in 2019, you have all the money in the world. The world is set up for you. It's set the fuck up for you. And you're like, no, but I still need to cheat to get my kid in. Like, yo, come on. Yeah, you're rich and white. Yo, if your kid can't get into whatever school you want them to get in, they're dumb. They're just dumb. Like, they're just dumb. And I'm sorry. Look, everybody got a dumb person in their family. You just got to be like, I hope you can clean toilets well. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you're just not going to be be a professor. Like, you're just not.
Your looks never fade.
Right. Like, you good at twerking? Like, what you good at? Like, I'm sorry. But like this idea that they deserve to be there. Like, not from a like academic standpoint or, you know, meritocracy standpoint, but they just feel like their kids deserve to have those things is incredible to me. One of the husbands of the celebrities, not Aunt Becky, the other white woman they keep showing, who was on like I don't know, one of those other fucking housewife shows or whatever.
What was her?
What?
What the fuck is her name?
I have no idea.
Lori Loughlin or something.
Lori Loughlin.
Yeah, that's it.
Because she reminds me of Miss Loughlin.
Yeah, our English teacher
in high school.
Who was actually a good person.
Yeah, she's actually a really good person.
Yeah. So
because she ain't rich.
Yeah, as it turns out. But her husband is he's like an Italian like clothing designer. Like he's
makes the Massimo guy.
Yeah. Right. Like I own some of that guy's like shirts from Target back in the day. They fit well. But that dude's like he's super paid, right? And you know, they paid something like $2 million to get their dumb kid into college. But what's wild is that guy has been known to go on Twitter and be like, people need to just pull themselves up by their bootstraps if they want to make it in this country. I'm like, yo, you didn't even do that for your own fucking kid. Like, so what do you got to say about that? He's like, no comment. Fuck out of here. Trump's awesome. I'm like, yo, like that is amazing. The hypocrisy of it all is pretty profound. But yeah, I just need people now to admit, like, the system is rigged. Like, don't talk to black people about not making it. Don't talk to brown kids about not making it. Like, the system is solidly rigged. And it's not, I wouldn't even say is rigged at this point for white people. It's just rigged for the rich.
Look, for most of it's always been rigged based on race, but it's equally always been rigged based on wealth and class. And let me tell you something, white people. Look, if you listening to this, you ain't rich. Okay? So let me tell you something.
Yeah, you're not.
You are being made a fool. You are being played. They're playing you. Oh, you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you can be like me. You're white, I'm white. We can wipe this out together. Nah, yo. Nah.
You're not on the same team.
You're not on the same team.
No.
You should be more insulted because they're lying directly to your face. They spitting on us. They spitting on us and they walking on us and they making us do all their fucking dirty work and shit. Yo, they lying to you, yo. You're the ugly chick that they bring to the party where they laugh at all the rest of the ugly dates.
What was that? Wasn't that a Steve Carell movie? Like, Dinner for Schmucks?
Yeah.
That's, you guys are the schmucks. Yeah, you're the schmucks.
The schmucks.
See which kind of losers we can convince to play the lotto.
Right. Like, come on, yo.
We give one of those losers a couple $1 million one time and he burns it all up in a month.
Right.
Look how rich and hilarious our lives are. It's just a fucking scam. It's just a scam. I feel like people are kind of waking up to it. I feel like people of color we've never been asleep to it.
Right.
Yeah, we already knew. But I think regular like mayonnaise sandwich eating white people are starting to figure out the game. Like, yo, I feel like we're getting taken advantage of here. Like, but you're being fucking scammed. They tell you, oh, like it's literally now. Not only is like if you start out rich, the world is rigged for you, right? That is obvious. But now college is rigged. So if college is rigged, then how the fuck do you get? How do you get to a position as like a poor person, color aside? How do you get to a position of truly making it? Right? Education is the way that you get out of, rise above your station. But now they're saying that the education ceiling is fucking rigged, because it's one thing to be like, oh, I'm going to pay to get my kid in. But the implication is like they paid to get their kids in and took a spot from your kid. Like some athletic kid who could have used sports to make it to Harvard or make it to, one of these big shot schools didn't get their scholarship and they lost out. So some kid could have his face photoshopped over an athlete and take that spot and never play that sport.
Dude, how the fuck did that work out?
Because the coaches were in on it. Yeah, they were in on it. Oh, here's little Johnny. He's really good from wherever the fuck. Yeah, he's gonna ride the bench though. Like, yeah, you give your kid a full ride, and your kid never plays. Yo, if I'm a parent, and my kid was like, let's play the stereotypes, like some basketball fucking superstar, and didn't get into some major university, didn't get into Duke, but some fucking rich white asshole got in and didn't even fucking play, I'd be pissed. It's not like he or she got beaten out by somebody who is better than them. Like, okay, they're physically more gifted or whatever. That's fine. That's a meritocracy. You don't always make it. But to be beaten out by someone who's cheating and then they don't even play that sport, and then the team also doesn't have that player, that's insane. Like, that's nuts. What's that?
For real, that's crazy.
It's super nuts. Yeah. Oh, this kid's on the water polo team. Like, yo, come on. There's 9 kids playing water polo, and that one kid at home, he don't get on the team because you made it up. The fuck? Mad.
And that's crazy, because that just means that the coach doesn't give a fuck.
No.
They're not looking for the best.
Getting paid. Look, that sports shit.
Why am I even bothering being on that team?
Here's the thing.
If I am an actual member of that team that wants to win.
Well, you don't know. As a kid, you don't know. You have no fucking clue. They ain't sharing how much scholarship money they handing out this year.
And you know what's really messed up? So in that scenario that you just laid out, right? Like, okay, well, it turns out that the ceiling for, college has a price tag on it. So what's your only opportunity if you need money for education? You join the military, because the military is over here saying, hey, broke boy, you want money for college? All you got to do is give me 5 years of your life. And we'll hook you up with money for college.
And hopefully you don't get your head blown off.
I mean, maybe you die, maybe you don't. But right, nigga. Right. What else can you do?
Yeah, because college is rigged. So, or why don't you just not worry about college? Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Right?
Once we get you, you're doing real good at this soldiering.
Yeah,
you're doing real good. You ain't died yet. You're doing real good.
You're doing better than the rest. You got all your arms and legs.
In the military before you can retire for 20 years.
I forget.
20 years. Before you retire, and
I'd be like, y'all need cooks, like domestic station cooks. I will do that. That sounds great. That sounds lovely.
You need a medic?
No, a medic. Nigga, they saying, it's out in the field. You crazy. See, this is how you get killed. You don't know shit. Nah, fuck that.
Nah. No, I ain't say that.
Nah, but that's what they heard. Medic. Oh, combat. Yeah, no, we got you. Send your ass right on the front line with the Marines. No. Fuck all that. We be a journalist at home. Where are the do you have any jobs in the coward section? Yeah, these are the ones I'm looking for.
They need somebody to draw pictures.
I can do that.
I can do that.
I just be military police. You just being a traitor to your own fucking crew. Go to jail. Like, fuck you. But yeah, it's just the idea of the military being your other option for poor kids is very, very true. Then the other part is like, you just don't go to school.
Yeah.
So then
and then they call you a drain on society.
That's right.
You ain't doing enough.
Well, why even try? Why bother if I got to fight. Not only do I got to fight against kids who might be smarter than me, but I also got to fight against kids who are just richer, who can just buy their way in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking nuts. I mean, people are, they're like, oh, well, there are all these high-end schools. Okay, yeah, for the, William H. Macy level fucking celebrities, sure. But you don't think there's a couple of lower level celebrities who don't buy their way into, some of these other schools that are maybe a little bit lower? Of course. Of course they do. So, or if it's nothing but having, my kids' ACT scores be fudged, because they're, having a proctor do it. That's a simple thing to pay for. Get you into college. Boom. And then you just push somebody right out of the way.
Now, I'm just asking hypotheticals and playing devil's advocate. What's the difference between this and traditional nepotism? Because I don't have a problem with nepotism.
In what way?
In that if like take Will Smith's kids, for example. Will Smith is famous enough that he owns a production company and can put his kids in film. Right?
Yeah.
Do you think that is taking the spot of another up and coming actor, or is that the nepotism that they do? They do.
Right.
Okay, because that's what this is, right?
I would say education is a little bit different because you are literally taking a chance for someone to rise above their state. Like education, I take very differently. I actually do. Considering also the
like that's what the Jared Kushner thing is, right? Like that's nepotism essentially.
Yeah, it is. Like he made it like in life based on nepotism, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Trump did too, right?
Trump did too.
Right. I mean,
see, he's in the highest political office and all that can be boiled down to nepotism.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, my dad only gave me a small loan of $1 million. No, he didn't. You stole $400 million from his rotting corpse as he was fucking dying. Get out of here. You and your fucking siblings need to burn in hell. But anyway, that's a different story. Save that for the other show. He needs to go to jail and he needs to die there. It would be really great. But the other side of that is, so I don't have a problem with nepotism in and of itself. Look, fuck that. Like, that is look, I don't blame white people for looking out for their kids. I have no problem with that. Oh, I'm a big shot lawyer and I own a law firm and my son's a lawyer. I'm going to give him a big ass fat job. No problem with that. Because that's when I see black people do that, I'm like, that's how you're supposed to look out for your people. Absolutely. I got no problem with that. Look, damn near everybody who has a job got their job through some level of nepotism.
Because they know somebody, yo.
Yeah, this is a fact. Like that, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I got the job that I have, or when I first started at my job, I got that because I knew the guy who was leaving the job. And we were close friends. And he was like, hey, I think you'd be really good for this job. And so I applied for it. But him coming in and be like, I think this guy would be really good for it, helped me get the job. Like, whatever. I still had to carry the weight and, once I took the job. But yeah, look. Yeah. I ain't got no problem telling people that. So no, I don't mind that Will Smith looks out for his kids. That's what you're fucking supposed to do. Like, that's the most normal human thing in the world. You're supposed to protect your kids. I don't think you should just bump people who are maybe more qualified. That seems fucked up. Like if he has his own production company and he wants to hire his son, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Because it's his.
This is his. Right.
But let's say if Will Smith paid Steven Spielberg money, Steven Spielberg runs Amblin. Let's say he paid Steven Spielberg money to get his kids into a movie.
Yeah, it's not okay.
Right. Yeah, I guess forgot it. Steven Spielberg would be like,
is the movie going to be on Netflix?
Because I won't see it. I don't like that.
Yo. Shut up, yo.
It's about racism?
Right. Oh, is it about racism? I can exploit that. I mean, work with that.
Have you guys seen War Horse?
Steven Spielberg directed Color Purple, right?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
He also liked Green Book. I rest my case. Fuck him. We don't need to do Color Purple. He liked Green Book and he directed Color Purple.
Yeah, he's the black director of our time. He's
the most
made
prolific
great
black
films.
director of our time.
He is our greatest living black director.
Who else is going to tell our stories if not Steven Spielberg?
If not for Steven Spielberg, what would we truly have as a culture? Not much, everybody. Not much. Yeah. So I don't think this is the same as nepotism. I do think
they were just like, "Yo, here's some money."
Yeah, they just straight paying.
This is just straight bribery.
Yeah. Yo, my Venmo name is the following. That was it.
But I'm just trying to anticipate different arguments.
Yeah, no, I totally understand what you're saying. I mean, the problem here ultimately is if you're going to have a situation where people are going to just pay for their education to get their kids in, then once again, people of color are at a disadvantage just out of the gate. Well, why don't they just have $5 million to throw to their kids? Well, I mean, I don't know, systemic racism and, the lack of wealth because of systems that have been in place for hundreds of years, right? Sure, Idris Elba could probably do this if he wanted to, for his kids, but he is such a small percentage of black people that could actually do this, or I wouldn't even say black people, just people of color, as a generality. I mean, look at how many people of color own sports teams. It's not a lot, right? I know there are a few, but there's not a lot.
There's like
there
one.
Any in the NFL.
Yeah, there's one. There's the Jaguars owner. He's an
Indian dude, isn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah. So, he seems like a prick too. So, I mean, look, rich people are just, y'all not doing well, man. Like as far as likability score, it's at an all-time low. Like people really hate your guts, which is fine by me because I think you're mostly reprehensible. But I just think that once again, the system is proven to not be fair. And I don't know why people still argue like it is. That is weird to me.
Because they are brainwashed. Like it's such a societal norm now. The whole bootstrapping and all that shit. Like generations of the majority minority or of white people have been told that this is the American way. Like our history books teach us that.
Yeah, that struggle is the way.
That all you have to do is come over here and it was just a bunch of open land and they made 13 colonies and that was it. And everybody just came together and the Indians were so happy that these white people came over that they just wanted to help out and
threw them dinner.
Got lynched. And like, that's all you got to do, right? Like, that's what they tell us. That's what they tell us. That's what they teach us at a very, very young age. And, every 4 years, it's hit home again. And around, election time, it's hit home. Like, you could be anything you want to be. And this, that, like, and they fall for it. They fall for it every time.
Let me ask you a question. This is kind of going to be a kind of a weird, not exactly weird, but to your point, it's going to be a kind of an offshoot of this topic. What do you think about the idea that you have a presidential candidate right now who is saying that they fully support reparations for black folks?
Look, the whole reparations thing.
And by the way, the reparations argument is not like here's straight cash. It's actually a program to make it easier for black people to buy houses.
Okay. All right. I understand that. That's not going to go over well.
No, I'm not talking about whether white people going to be mad. Don't give a fuck about that. I don't live my life based on that. They always mad. Who cares? They're mad about Hamilton. They just figured out black people in it. Who cares? Did you know we're not in that? Calm down. Relax. Some of you are.
Blackwashing George Washington.
Good. 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 I don't give a fuck. Yeah, George Washington was black as fuck when I saw Hamilton. That shit, I was like, God damn, he darker than me. It's amazing. So no, but I mean the idea itself, not the concept of whether people are going to be upset. We already know they're going to be upset.
Yeah.
How
I would have to see how it's.
Yeah, basically, I mean, the general premise here is that this would be a program that, as an African American in in the US, you would get some sort of reduced, my guess is a reduced interest rate or something like that. And maybe, some of your closing costs paid, that would give you a leg up to buy a house. Most likely, my guess is this is a first time home buyers thing, because buying a house is the way that white people in this country, one, stop black people from having, with redlining and things like that. It's the way that white people got, wealth in their families and kept that wealth and continued to build that wealth over generations, where black people were not allowed to.
I mean, I would have to read more about it, but I don't necessarily see the problem. It's like affirmative action for housing.
Yeah. I mean, arguably. Yeah.
I mean, I hate to simplify it, but I'm a simpleton. And,
yes, we know.
I see that, like, outside of black people not having to pay taxes.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Right. Let that dream float right out of your head.
Right. Yeah, I don't necessarily see a problem with it, but again, I'm a black person. I'm a black person that is looking to buy a home. So
you're like
that would really help me out.
Well, my thing is,
help me.
Yeah, I understand that's how like white folks were able to like accrue wealth. Is that still the case?
Yes.
It is now. Like,
yes.
Still purchasing a house.
Oh, dude, look.
That's why John Hopkins is buying up East Baltimore.
Yeah, dude. No, real estate. Look, you can't make as much money and as fast and legally in the United States than selling real estate. You can't. Like, we didn't make some like crazy amount of money when we sold our house, but I was like, that was a check. Oh shit, son. Hey, we rich for an afternoon. We had to put this money down on this new house. But yeah, no, it is an honest to God way to do very well, especially if, like, let's say you bought a house in the 1960s, right? 1950s, 1960s at the height of redlining. If you're a white person and you bought a house in East Baltimore or West Baltimore or something like that for, let's say, $60,000, right? Doesn't seem like a lot of money, but in 1955, you buy it, you pay it off in 30 years or however long it took you to pay it off. Then you sell that house. You sell that house in 2000, and maybe that house is now worth, let's say the house is worth $130,000. You did some improvements, it's worth $130,000. Or you give it to your kids. You die off, your kids get it. They got a house. Now that house is worth $130,000. Maybe they stay in it for 5 years. Then it's worth like maybe $150,000. They sell it. They ain't pay nothing on it. They just garnered themselves $150,000. Now maybe they move into a bigger house, and then that house, they pay on that house. They buy a $300,000 house. They take the $150,000, put it on that house. Now that they pay in a mortgage of $150,000. That's not a super expensive house in this area. So now they've got this huge house, and then they pass it on or they sell it. It is a way to generate a lot of money very fast.
My wife knows someone who she's older than us, maybe our parents' age, right? Bought a house way back in the day. Bought a house on H Street in DC.
Oof.
You go to DC now, you look at H Street, yo. I mean, it looked like it's snowing. There's so many white things around there, man. Like it's crazy. Every time my father comes down to visit us and we go to DC or whatever, he's like, what? Huh? He's like confused Mark Wahlberg. Like all these white people walking around at night with their dogs and like little dogs too. Like what?
Why the Rottweilers at?
You can't believe it, but that house that woman bought is worth millions of dollars.
There you go,
millions.
Right.
And that's the thing, dude. Like,
and it wasn't that long ago,
dude. Look, I mean, not to tell you how much I pay for this.
40 years,
right? Not to tell you how much I pay for this house, but I know for a fact the people that bought this house before us bought it 4 years. They only lived in the house for 4 years. It increased by $100,000 in 4 years. What the fuck?
I think my mother's selling her house now. It was like $100,000.
She made $100,000.
No, it was $100,000 when we moved in.
Oh, when you bought it, yeah. That look, I seen your parents' house. No, it is worth way more than that.
I think right now she's trying to sell it for $375,000.
Dude, you cannot make that kind of money legally. Yo, that is crack money. They come for you for that shit. Like, where did you get all this cash? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, why do you think all these fucking charlatans who are in the fucking presidency, they're like, yo, real estate is fucking awesome.
Right. Why you hear on the radio all these people? I buy junkie houses. I buy unfurnished houses. Just give me your house. Yeah. Give it to me, sell it to me, and I'll flip it. I'll do whatever. You don't want that house. You don't need it. You don't need it. Yeah. Just give it to me.
They turn around and sell those shells for fucking serious money. Serious money. Yeah, they don't have to do nothing to it. Yeah. Dude, I know a guy who lived, this is going to get a little local for people who aren't from around here, but like near Boston Street in Baltimore, before that all got, like gentrified and renovated and all this other shit, he bought that house in the fucking 1980s. That house cost him $85,000. He sold that house not even at the height of that area being gentrified for over $400,000, and it was his house was paid off. He was like, yoink, gone. Yeah, the fuck does he care? I'm out.
It's pretty nice.
It's super nice now.
Yeah,
that shit used to look like a fucking dump. Yeah. Yeah, it fucking really was. It really fucking was.
Down by the docks.
Yeah, like nigga, no, they bring slaves there.
Now it's the waterfront.
Yeah, you're goddamn right it is. Yeah, it's lovely over there. They got a Nordstrom's rack over there. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I drove past there, maybe 3 or 4 days ago. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck is all of this?
Yeah.
Like a whole ass, just shopping center.
Yeah, that's all new. And that's like 2 years old. Yeah, maybe like 4.
I don't remember that. I don't remember any of this shit a couple years back.
Yeah. No, they ain't fucking around.
And that's why all those people that live there walking down the street. That's why all those people that live there didn't want that red line going from Edmondson Avenue to Boston Street.
Nope.
They did not want that.
So the apartments, they turned one of the, I think it was like an old I don't know if it was an old it's by the shipyards. I have no idea if it was like a warehouse. They turned that into an apartment complex or something like that. I was like,
yeah.
What the fuck? Okay.
Oh, look, I know exactly what you're talking about. My wife and Micah and his wife went to dinner right over there. Lovely restaurant. Place is fucking beautiful. That restaurant was in House of Cards. It was awesome. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that place was a beer factory. That's what you're talking about. Yeah. It was just like an old beer factory. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's the thing is this idea, and I think Micah is correct. And the reason why I brought up the reparations thing, we are as a society, we are lied to. And look, especially poor white people are lied to, but no, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. Look, don't worry about these death taxes. Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about capital gains. Don't worry about that. Because when you make it, you don't want to have to pay those taxes. Nigga, I don't have $10 billion. But you might one day. You might. Keep playing the lotto. Keep playing.
You could though.
But that's what they lie to us. And they do tell people that this idea of the American dream is as long as you work hard enough, you can make it. That's a lie. It's no longer that. That shit is rigged beyond belief. Now, that doesn't mean it can't get unrigged. But right now, it's super fucking rigged.
I mean, you can
technically back in the day it was. You could literally raise a family of 4 on a factory job.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, that was way back then.
They bought for $50,000 worth, whatever the fuck they are now. But yeah, back then, if you were white at the very least, you could do that.
Yeah, and you could for black folks too. It was just way harder, and you were in even worse neighborhoods.
That dream is still. I mean, it's a dream, but it can happen. But you know what else can happen? You can be drafted for the NFL.
Right.
You could win the lottery. You could be struck by lightning twice on a Sunday afternoon. Like that's the type of odds that you're working with.
Yeah.
And we went over what review was that? High Flying Bird.
High
How
Flying
many
Bird.
people are in each individual sport?
Yeah, it's like 9 dudes
It's
make
like-
it to the NBA every year. Don't bank on that shit.
There's
Go
like
to school.
12 people on an NBA team,
Right.
30 teams.
Yeah, you ain't gonna make it. Like, is your name Zion? Like, you gonna bust through a shoe with your giant foot? No? All right, then go to school. But hopefully your parents got 500 grand to get you in. Yeah, I just don't know. Like, I feel like rich people don't read history. And I feel like we're coming real close to people just being like, you know what? Why don't we just go pull these rich people out of their houses? Just like at a certain point. Like, you're going to piss enough people off that they're going to have enough of this shit. And now you're fucking with people's education, which isn't good because now people are starting to believe that nothing is fair. And I mean, it's not exactly incorrect. I do.
This particular scandal, since it's white people paying their way into school, taking other white people's opportunities away. I mean, they said that that's what affirmative action was doing, but now it's like rich folks are doing it to it. And it's very visible.
Yeah, that's a good point, right?
Do you think it's going to change? I mean, this is just a small sample, but like if more of this shit starts happening and people start actually paying attention to it,
Yeah, I think
it might change.
I think so, but it's got to happen a lot. Or it's got to be caught. It's got to be caught more.
Yes.
Right.
And look, I'm very afraid. Okay, because white people have no idea what it's like to be treated unfairly, to be truly treated unfairly.
Yeah, they don't.
And they don't know how. They will not know how to handle it. Like
Yeah,
it
I think
takes a
that's
lot for like black people. We fucking march and we do all this, peace. Nah, yo, white people will go around and they will, like you said, they will rip you out of your home.
Yeah, look.
They will
Spoiler alert.
burn your shit. to
Look,
the ground.
spoiler alert. Why don't you go look up the French Revolution? See how that worked out.
Yeah, they cut that woman's head off.
Yeah, let them eat cake. Really? Blink. Fuck you. Like, nah, yo, they're not playing with you.
Maria Antoinette just basically said, "Fuck them niggas."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they cut her head off.
Yeah, and look, they don't fuck with the French to this day. Like, the French government's like, we're doing this. And French are like, don't do that. And they're like, you're right. Because y'all got that shit in your blood. Like, y'all not really fucking around. I got you. But yeah, no, I think that's important. I think it's important to understand, like, they don't truly know what it's like. They have no idea what the situation is. That's why, like, I haven't seen white people this mad about like a scandal like this since the Bernie Madoff thing. People are like, Bernie Madoff stole billions of dollars from rich white people. Can you believe this? I'm like, yeah, I can. Because y'all weren't looking. Because if he was stealing from poor people of color, y'all wouldn't have given a fuck. You wouldn't have cared. But that's how I know, like, shit has gotten so bad that now white people are starting to realize that other white people are scamming them. And it's like, oh, welcome. Come on in. Good. I'm glad you figured it out. But you better figure it out soon. Because these motherfuckers going to run out of town with all your money. All of it. But we'll see. I look forward to the grand awakening of regular white people to the massive scam of convincing them that Mexicans are the ones trying to destroy the country. Yes. It's the poor guy picking the fruit. That's the guy who's fucking over your life. Right. Pushing your kid out of college. You fucking
The
idiot.
guy selling flowers on the corner.
Yeah, that nigga is ruining my life. How did his kid get into Harvard? They didn't. Like, that's the great irony of it. Like, there is way more commonality down here between black and brown and poor white people than the idea of like white people who are rich versus, middle class and poor white people. Like, that's the, when I say, and I don't take it as a joke, I mean it very seriously, that white people are made up. It's because they were literally to convince poor, disenfranchised white people in the continental U.S. at the time that they were on the same level as the white aristocracy, as these European aristocracy. And it's like, yeah, us together against the minorities. And they were like, yeah, we're all white and they're all, whatever, brown, black, whatever, Chinese. And that's what they convince you. They're not on your team. They never been on your team.
Nope.
They've never been on your team. And I don't understand, like, looking at the history of this country, why you think they are. I just don't. They get you to vote against your interests. They get you to vote for shit that only helps them. What kind of fucking morons right now think that, like, everybody learning that lesson, oh, it turns out the Republican tax plan didn't help regular white people. No shit. Because it wasn't for you. It was for rich people.
2020 will be very, very interesting.
You better wake the fuck up,
Well, they got that quick check for the increased pay for like a month. Like, oh shit, I got more money this month.
Uh-huh.
And
then what happened? What happened in April?
That
Same thing that happened to my ass.
No, not the same thing that happened to you. Nah. Y'all pulled a sword out and stabbed yourself with it.
That ain't no y'all.
Yeah, come here, stand here for a second.
I got something to show you. Bam! 9 swords right in the gut.
9 swords, like Caesar. Yeah, that's a crazy story. But like the idea of, like, I think on average across the United States, the increase of everybody, like, on average what they got increased in their taxes was like less than 8% on average, which if you know what a bell curve looks like, most of y'all ain't get that. Most of you didn't. And that means all the rich got most of that.
Ain't shit.
I haven't done my taxes yet. I'm not really in a rush to owe anybody anything. Y'all come get y'all money. Fuck y'all. But yeah, no, they screwed you. And so I guess that maybe this is a shout out to middle class and poor white folks everywhere. Wake the fuck up. Just wake up.
You need to put the fucking clip of Sam Jackson at the end of Do the Right Thing.
Yeah. Like,
at the end of this motherfucker.
Yeah, just wake up, yo. Like, you're getting scammed. And the sooner you realize that the whole, like, position is to get poor people to fight amongst each other so that rich people can steal all the treasure. The second you understand that, then you can truly, like, actually move forward. Oh, like just listen to the arguments in this 2020 race that's coming up. It's like, people are like, hey, we should probably, like, do healthcare and take care of poor people and all this other shit. And the other side is like, that's socialism. And if you take that, you a bitch. And people are just like, yeah, I don't want to be a bitch though.
I ain't no bitch.
I ain't no bitch, yo.
I ain't no bitch, nigga. Fuck that. Like,
nah, I'll work myself to death in a coal mine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll work myself to death in a coal mine, me and my kid, kill ourselves just so I don't be no bitch. Fuck all that. America's awesome.
That shit's funny.
It's fucking true. It's fucking true. Listen to the arguments. Yeah, you don't want that? Nah. Listen to me. I'm a billionaire. I got your back.
Right. What the fuck? Yo, come on.
It's amazing to me.
They
like,
don't have to want for anything, and y'all busting y'all ass.
Yeah,
they're
like, done.
Universal healthcare is trash, my nigga. Like,
nigga, you don't got healthcare. I don't want to wait in lines. You can't wait in any line. The fuck? I don't want to have to wait a day. You waiting a year. What are you talking about? Nah, I want to take these free tickets to Disney. Why? Because they be lines there. Nigga, you ain't have tickets yesterday. Yeah, I know. All right. Solid logic. Solid. I hear they do that in other countries. Do you have any proof of that? Nah. The rich people, that's what they said. But when they get sick, they go to the same place they told you not to go. Get the fuck out. Come on, yo. Come on. Rand Paul literally talks about how social or how fucking universal healthcare is, quote, slavery. Then this nigga gets tackled by his neighbor for not cleaning up his lawn. He heads to Canada to get a fucking hernia surgery. And people are like, nah, this is the dude. Like, this is the guy I should listen to. This rich asshole just told you it's bullshit, and then he go use their same doctors. But y'all vote for him anyway. Wake up. But that's right. Voting doesn't work. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, just wake up. That's if I can impart any advice, just pay attention. Like, Just pay attention. I ain't telling you who to vote for. Just pay attention. Stop, and look, if getting health care means you got to be a bitch, be a bitch. Get your prostate checked so you don't die at 50. Like, what the fuck? It's true. Take that finger in the ass for your own health.
Yeah. We are getting closer and closer to that.
11 more years. Who's counting? I'm just saying. Terrence is like, thank God I'm 38. Yes. But yeah, I just want people to pay attention. Whatever color you are, however much money you have, especially if you are working class or poor, pay attention. All right, that is it for us for this week. That was a very good conversation. Next week's conversation will be ridiculous. So look forward to our episode on Obsessed. Make sure you share out the shows. That really helps us. We appreciate it. Also, if you're just listening on the podcast, make sure you share out the shows on that link, but also make sure you share out the YouTube, the video versions as well. That would be equally as helpful. And I see many of you that do that. Also, make sure you're checking out the other shows in the TMP Studios network, like Look Forward, our political podcast, which I host. We talk about stuff like this. Also, Dense Pixels, which is our video game podcast. The Nerdpocalypse, which is our flagship show, as our movie, TV, news show every week. So check that all out, and make sure you go to blackandblackcinema.com/premium. You can sign up for premium content. We have a couple of premium shows in there as well that are also very, very good. And then you can also check out, if you go to youtube.com/the Nerdpocalypse, that channel has like little quick, fast movie reviews as they come out on there, amongst clips from that show and everything else. Because by the time you're listening to this, in a day or so, on Friday, there will be a review that Terrence and I will do for Us, which, yeah. So look forward to all of those things. And I'll also try to post that on the Black on Black Cinema YouTube page as well. All right, that's it from us, and we will see you guys next week.
See you.
Take it in.
Bye. You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of Black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the Black community.